Hi there, hello there, my name is Craft, and I have a question. Was ending the Minecraft mob vote truly worth it? Like, truly worth it? Let me elaborate. So, the infamous mob vote. Most of us already know the headache of these events, but for the few who are unaware, back in 2017, Mojang opened up the opportunity for the community to vote on one of 4 mobs. Whichever mob had the most votes would be officially added to the game, while whatever lost would forever be cast into the Idea Vault to collect dust. And for the next 6 years, they had made many more community votes on certain features, like mobs or biomes. And while a fun concept on paper, giving the players that make Minecraft what it is a little bit of power in deciding what they want to see in the game, but in execution, it was a bit of an issue. Yes, we did get a couple of good things like some updated biomes and allays, but we also lost so many other good things like the Moo Bloom, the Isolager, the frickin' Copper Golem. That's my favorite mob, now lost to the Shadow Realm, and that's not even the worst of it. Some of the stuff we did get was honestly just kinda lame. The Sniffer? It sniffs up 1 to 2 flowers. The Glow Squid? It glows and is a squid. The Armadillo? Alright, yeah, they're pretty cute, not gonna lie, but they've also grown to be one of the biggest pests if you live near a savanna biome, where they litter their scutes everywhere, and it's laggy and annoying. And it still doesn't even end there! While yes, one person can have their opinions on what they want in the game, some other people will have stronger opinions on what they want in the game. So instead of bringing the community together to decide on a cool feature, Mojang accidentally divided the community so much that they essentially created online gang wars. Cue the online shouting matches, mob vote candidate adverts, creators mob vote rigging, and the propaganda posters of the community being collectively fed up with Mojang not just adding all the ideas and leaving the decision to us idiots. So with all that history of people being disappointed and dissatisfied, you'd think I'd celebrate this mob vote finally being put to rest in 2024, where Mojang posted this tweet where they would be having a restructure as they moved forward with Minecraft development, and through this restructure, they retired the mob vote. You'd think I'd be happy with this, and I was for a time. I was satisfied that the dreaded vote that took away my beloved Copper Golem was finally gone. It was satisfying to see something that caused so much division in the community finally ending. But the more I think about it, I think all the stuff that we're losing with this decision, as well as the reason why Mojang made this decision in the first place, it all just makes me feel kinda sad that this tradition has ended, even if it's a good decision at the end of the day. You see, one of my main issues all kind of boils down to how the community feels a bit more closed off from the developers, which is ironic since they said they'd be taking community feedback in mind a little bit more as they move forward with the game. But yeah, with the mob vote gone, we don't really have any say anymore as to what gets added to the game, aside from the feedback site, which has infamously been ignored by the devs, where suggestions can get thousands of upvotes, yet go completely unimplemented. I mean, sure, they could be receiving feedback and suggestions in other places, but it's also much harder to see if they take any of these things seriously in these other places. A bunch of people during the Garden Awakens drop lamented that Pale Pumpkin would fit so well in the Pale Garden, as it provides an additional resource for the player to gather, as well as expanding the possible vegetation that would make sense for a place literally called a garden. It also acts as something that has history in Minecraft, as something that was featured in Minecraft Story Mode. A big suggestion from the community, with many videos discussing how it would be a great addition, and the devs completely ignored it. At least with the mob vote, they actually looked at the number of votes that determines which mob would be added. But yeah, we don't really have any good way to provide any suggestions, which kinda sucks, and it's a real shame to see go. What's also a real shame to see go is the lack of people creating things around the mob votes. Seeing all the negative stuff sucked, yeah, but all the positive stuff was genuinely fun. All the fan concepts and speculations on how the mob vote candidates would be added before the results were introduced were super interesting. Heck, even all the mods that were made were not only interesting, but super impressive. The community was insanely creative and passionate about the mobs with so many different things, and it seems like we're just not gonna get those things anymore, since any creative stuff from the community is purely reserved with what Mojang officially announces, which, while still good, doesn't hit the same level, at least for me. So here we see the issues with the mob vote retiring, And it really makes me think that the decision to end them is somewhat short-sighted when it comes to building up the community. Mojang took a short-term win while also planting the seeds for long-term failure. And what makes it all worse is the fact that I'm sure that all of this isn't even Mojang's fault. You see, the last big problem I've thought about was who truly made this decision. I think despite the flaws with the mob vote, Minecraft genuinely enjoyed the feedback and engagement of the players, even if they're messy with taking the feedback, and the feedback itself was messy. But I feel like the frustrations of the community over time, and especially with the last mob vote, might have been a bit too much to handle. Not for Mojang, no, but for the company above them, Microsoft. Now, I'm not saying anything official, but I'm guessing that Microsoft wasn't all that happy about their biggest video game IP getting bad exposure online. Like, imagine being a Microsoft executive in 2023, and Mojang begins their annual mob vote. Now, normally this would be business as usual, their IP was getting exposure and engagement, but then,
oh boy, let's check in on all the internet hubbub around our intellectual property. Oh my gosh! Shut it down! Turn it off! Shut it down!
Yeah, I don't think Mojang had all that much say in the mob vote retirement. I also think that Microsoft doesn't really enjoy how chummy Mojang is with the fans, since it's standard practice for companies to keep them and their consumers at an arm's length. Not all companies are like Sega towards Sonic fans, so sadly we have Microsoft having Mojang build up a little bit more of a wall between them and us to both save face and keep the perception of Minecraft positive. Although this part is admittedly speculation, but I wouldn't put it past them. And it doesn't really invalidate any of the previous points that I brought up. So to answer the question I opened the video with, was ending the mob vote truly worth it? I'm leaning towards no, since with no mob vote, there's no special thing for the community to latch onto aside from the actual updates, which are already pretty spread out as they are. But if Mojang can improve how they take in community feedback, then things should be okay, at least for a while. Basically, players just need something to engage with when it comes to the game's development, similar to the mob vote, but a little bit more polished, and less likely to cause internet wars. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Just something I was thinking about, and I felt like it was important to discuss a bit. Thank you for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and that'll be it for me today. I'm out of here.